Okay, so this is my take on a share certificate versus a CD. I'm sorry. Basically, that is a CD, but a share certificate versus a high yield interest savings account. So, a high yield interest savings account is, some people may know it by being a money marketing account. Depending on what type of bank you go through and what type of credit you go through, it actually will have high yield interest savings, or it'll say money marketing. One of my banks that I go through is actually called money marketing account. Basically, money marketing is a special account where some of them will have a minimum. You can only have a bare minimum of $500 to even have the account. If you go below the $500, they're gonna say, hey, you can't. I mean, the money will probably still be in there, but they probably won't give you any type of interest because you haven't made that minimum. I look crazy, don't I, in the face? I just woke up, y'all. But normally high yield interest savings accounts, some of them have a bare minimum that they would say, okay, well, depending on how the market is, we'll give you a bare minimum of like 2.5% interest, and that'll be like the bare minimum. But then it'll go up to like 3 or 4 or 5%. Now, in my case, I was reading online for my bank, and they claimed it was like 2.53%. But I could have sworn a few times I went below that, and it really depends on what the banking market is. So like, I've never got the same amount of interest month to month. It's always been completely different. Like 1 month I got like 3.23% interest. The next month 2.64% interest. Then a month after that 1.5% interest. So like, the money will dramatically go up and down, up and down, up and up and up and down, down. So the money marketing accounts, to me, if you're just letting your money sit there temporarily for like a couple months, okay, yeah, sure. But then you go to what's called a CD. So I'm new to CDs. A CD is something, okay, don't you know how, like, we're gonna compare it to like this. Don't you know how you put money into a savings account and you like, oh, I need some money for Christmas this year. Let's say it's January. You're saving up for Christmas. You know, your kids, you got a lot of kids. I want a $3,000 budget by December. So you're gonna keep putting this money up until you get that $3,000, and it's just gonna sit on Christmas, and then you'll pull the money out and spend your money. That's similar to that, which is a CD. So, but the only difference is a CD, you give them a large lump sum. So normally, I think the minimum for a CD is $500, and that's probably everywhere. I never seen it lower than that, because anything lower, you're not going to be gaining any interest for real. But a CD, you put a large lump sum of money, and you are going to get some paperwork, and the paperwork is going to have the interest that you're going to gain. And on top of having the interest that you're going to gain, it's going to say, hey, this is your maturity date. So you got a 3-month CD, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month, 18-month, all the way up. I think the highest I've seen a CD go was for 72 months. And basically, you would know about how much interest that you will get, because it will tell you the percentage on the paper. Now that interest rate is locked. So you know how the high yield interest, the interest rate will vary month to month on that. Well, with the CD, let's say you get the interest at the highest that it'll ever be, which is around 5%. I never seen them pay nobody no more than 5%. And let's say you got that 5% locked for 12 months. Well, and let's say you're getting like $20,000, and you put in $20,000, and and it's $20,000, you're getting 5% interest every single month. Now, the thing with that is, I don't care if the banks start losing a ton of money, they start closing branches, you're gonna still get that 5%. It's guaranteed, because you signed paperwork, they signed paperwork saying that they was gonna guarantee it. It's FDIC insured, blase, blase, blase. So you're gonna continue to get that interest. The only thing is, if an emergency happens, you really can't touch that money. Now, you can break the contract of a CD. I did the research. So basically, if you touch the money before it matures, which is on the date that you agreed to keep the money sitting in the bank, if you touch it, what's going to end up happening is you will forfeit 1 month of interest. So instead of them paying you the interest, they'll probably take it, or they will just take it out of your money. So let's say you was getting $90 a month for $20,000. They're going to take $90 from that $20,000 and then give you the rest of the money. And that'll be your penalty for touching them money before the mature date. So think of it as this way. A CD is long-term savings. High yield interest, it could be long-term savings, but the thing with that is, if you got $20,000 in the high yield interest savings versus $20,000 in the CD, you're going to get way more money back from the CD, because you're guaranteed that interest every single month. Is very, what do they call it? It is very uniform with the CD, versus the high yield is not uniform. It'll be very sloppy. 1 month you'll be up here, and then it'll just, like, let's say 1 month you get 6% interest and a high yield interest. Then the next month it go down to 0.5%. Like, it could do, I've seen it. The most I ever got was like 3.8 something % interest, and then literally the next month it was like 1.2. So I literally got less than a third of what I would be getting. So I went from getting like $60 a month to like getting like $18 the next month. Like, it's crazy. So with a CD, you would have been getting that $60 the whole rest of the year. So this is why some people need to understand how it works. Now, if you don't have that much money, then of course go to high yield interest savings, and then once you get like $5,000, do a CD. Get another $5,000, do another. You can get unlimited CDs. Okay, I know somebody right now, they have about 18 CDs, and they do their CDs once. When they put CDs in, they do 72-month CDs. So I think like right now they told me they got about 18 CDs, and out of the 18 CDs, they're getting more than $100 per CD. And they say that they're about to actually retire, and they're getting like $100 and something a month per CD. So they're getting over $2,000 a month from these CDs for like the next 5-6 years. And they was like, that money, they just save it up, and whenever they want to go on vacation or something, they use it for that, or if something come up, they need repairs, anything. So, just imagine getting that much money per CD. And they said once they get all of their money back from their CDs, they're going to get one big CD. So, you could be a person that live off of your CD money. I know people that's like that right now, and I'm like, what do you do for a living? You don't do nothing. You don't go to work. You're like 10 years older than me. And they basically told me, look, I won a lottery, $250,000. When taxes came out, it was like 100 and I think they said 80,000. And they put a CD in, and they realized how much money they was making, and they was working full time, and they got a second job, and they got up to $500,000, and they just learned that when you got money, boom, 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 you can do things when you got money. When you have, but the only downside about getting interest is if you make over $600 a month. If you make over $600 a year with interest, what will end up happening is you will get they will send you a tax form. the bank will automatically send you a tax form. So the bank know how much interest you made, and they will automatically send that to the IRS. So once they send you something in the mail talking about, hey, this is your tax statement, because technically if you're getting interest per month and it's over $600 a year, technically that's the second source of income. If it's less than $600, you don't gotta pay don't pay taxes on it, because legally you don't have to. Look this up. You can Google this. You can look this up. If it's more than $600, you gotta pay taxes. So with me, I'm gonna be probably making $1,300 for this whole year for interest. I have to pay taxes, which is probably like $100 some. So yeah, that's the only downside. You have to pay taxes on it. But the good side of it is your income will go up. So let's say if you're trying to buy a house and you only make $40,000 a year, and you got $1,300 worth of interest that you claimed on your taxes, really you made $41,300. So now you could probably afford, I don't know, $5,000 or $10,000 more a year. So let's say they told you, oh, you're eligible for you know, I don't know, $120,000 loan. Because of that interest, it could go up to $130,000. So just mind you, second source of income, meaning when you get loans and stuff, you can put that down as your second source of income, and technically it is a second source of income. And because of that second source of income, you can use that to your advantage, and your limits can go way higher than what you could normally afford. So my goal is to get enough interest, which is for me $200 to $300 a month, and that will pay all my utility bills in my home. So my gas, my light, my water, my sewage, yeah, gas, light, water, sewage, trash. But really I pay 3 bills, because the water, sewer, trash is on my bill. If I get enough money to pay all of that, I'm good. So, and that'd be like, I don't know, maybe $200 to $300 a month worth of interest. I'm already getting almost $100 a month. So I'm on the right track. So I'm trying my hardest in the next, I want to say 4 years. I want to get to that point. If I can get to that point. But yeah, we're gonna stop this video. I'm gonna do 2 separate videos, y'all, because this one is kind of long. This is my take on a high yield interest savings account versus a CD, which is share certificate. Okay, so I'm gonna do another video, and it's gonna be specifically talking about the facts in there, because I haven't read that yet, and we're gonna just read it together. All right. So don't dwell on nothing that happened to you in the past. Move on, move forward, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. All right, bye.